last thing we're going to do is create something called a block so that your views can be used over and over and over again in the same drawing or a new drawing. This is very typical. These would often be part of a resource drawing that's made that's all full of flange blocks or piping blocks or things like that, so that as you're doing a design, you can just grab these things that are pre-designed, pre-drawn, checked for accuracy so that you know they're going to work. You just pull them into your drawing. So I'm going to ask you to make a block of each section view and to name it appropriately so that you can have those available to be used. So here's how you do it. First of all, usually you're going to use the geometry layer for something like that. So make sure that you're on the correct layer, geometry. And then you're just going to type block. You can find it under this insert thing as create block. Okay, but when I do this thing where I type block, it's going to create this and it's going to store it in this drawing. There's also something called a W block where you can tell it to store this new thing somewhere else. We're going to use this straightforward and standard version of block, where these things that you make are stored within this file. So I'm just going to type block. And a new dialog comes up, and so what's this going to be? First, I want you to give it size, 3-inch, space, and then the type. Lap joint, and then the view. Section. 3-inch lap joint section. Now the point you're going to pick is usually this intersection or the midpoint of the face of the flange. That's the most common one to do. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do. That means when you put it into the drawing, it's going to line up with your mouse click with that point. Okay, then we're going to select the objects, and you can either leave your center lines in or not. Okay, I'm going to leave the center lines in. Enter. I'm done selecting. And then I am going to convert it to a block. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and convert it to a block so that it's a block all in itself. Now you can see when you grab it, you can move it around by that point. Or if I say DC Design Center, and I now go to my flanges drawing and my blocks, I can just grab that and put a new one in. Isn't that the coolest thing? Okay, so I've got my lap joint done. Now I need to do my blind flange. So that was the block command, B-L-O-C-K, block. This one, size first, 3-inch, space, type, blind, space, view, section. Pick my point, and I'm going to use the midpoint of that line. Select my objects. There they are. Enter. And OK. And now look, now my blind flange is also in here. And my last one is slip on. Adjust my view a little bit. Block, enter. Size, 3-inch. Type. Slip on. View. Section. Usually take that front face center point. Select my objects, convert to block. There we go. Now I've got all three of them in here. I'll be checking yours when I open your drawing. I'm just going to hit DC and look to see if your blocks are there. That's part of this one to do. Okay, so now I can go ahead and save this. And what you're going to do is you're going to submit your DWG drawing, which I just saved, and the PDF of the 3 sheets, the 3 layouts, which you've already made. There we go. You've got multiple objects in a single file, 3 different layouts, and you have created useful blocks.